Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. And good evening and welcome to another edition of The Way I See It. And this is Ralph Williams, and I am here tonight. It's Friday night. We're starting a little early here tonight, but we normally start at 7. But tonight I wanted to start at 8 o'clock, but we're here a little early tonight to get things rolling because I have to do my Mahler pregame today because I made an obligation to be somewhere tomorrow for an event. So, therefore, I have to do tonight's show a little early. So we're going to do that as well. But I also want to talk tonight a little bit about a few things. Friday nights, we're here every Friday at 7 p.m. Sunday night, this show is on at 9:35 p.m. We have the half-hour version of The Way I See It. Also on Sunday night at 9 is the Sports Corner broadcast also. So that'll be... Also, don't forget tomorrow at 5 p.m., PCTV Channel 21 Comcast, 47 Verizon Cable, and don't forget to tune in to The Way I See It. Or I'm sorry, the Sports Corner Show with myself and Smokin' Jim Frazier as well. All right, we're going to talk a little bit today. I was trying to do something a little earlier here with this, and apparently it didn't seem to work in my eyes. So I went back to wearing the headset. I had set up a new microphone in here, see if it'll work, but it's not working at this time. Also, don't forget about your comments in the comments section as well here on The Way I See It, Friday edition. All right, tonight we're going to get started with the Bonehead. First, we're going to start with the Bonehead, the guy who ran through the Port Authority tunnel to elude police because he slammed into a Port Authority bus. What a knucklehead. What a goof, what a bonehead. That's why tonight he's one of my boneheads of the night. The next one is the foundation of Kranick's Bike Shop in Garfield. Now, I don't know, a lot of you live in the East that watch my programs that know about Kranick's Bike Shop. Know that Kranick's Bike Shop has been around for, 60 years. Mr. Kranick, he was there today. He works as a volunteer. He sold it to another gentleman who worked for him as a volunteer for many years. Well, apparently their foundation fell today, and I'm upset with the gentleman named Jason DeMarby because he's the bonehead, the owner who owns the next door property, who was told by the city inspectors, building inspectors, to cease and desist on your construction because it was causing a problem. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think he ceased and desisted on this? No, he did not. Okay? So, what I'm saying to you right now is that this guy decided to go against the city and still did the construction anyway. So now he's doing court. And this is a boneheaded move because why would you continue to do construction when you were given proper notice by the city, okay, to stop doing it? All right. Well, of course, some people, they just don't, they don't care. A lot of people don't care about what authority has to say, which has led to a lot of different things in this country today because no one cares to listen to authority. So the city went there, as I said, now and then this guy and continues to work on it and part of the foundation in the back of Krannick's bike shop fell down. They had to put a tarp up. It's pouring down rain. A lot of their equipment got ruined. Some of it ended up outside because of the collapse of the wall. All right. And this is exactly why I decided to make this man my second bonehead of the night as well. All right. Bonehead is brought to you by Robin Campbell Insurance. Robin Campbell is a farmer's insurance agent from the North Hills, 412-366-3399. Call Robin today. He will set you up with all of your insurance needs, including life, auto, home, fire, renters insurance, which I have been promoting something big time on this program because I believe that you need to have renters insurance if you live in an apartment or you rent from a landlord. Even if you rent from a public agency, okay, you still need to have renters insurance as a backup because not everybody, all right, you can't trust people. You can't trust landlords. You can't trust even agencies that have these apartments, okay? Because if you think you're going to try to do that, it's not going to work, all right? Just a little bit of a note for you today, and I'm going to put it out on my social media platforms tonight. And we're on two of them here, YouTube and Facebook. This is the way I see it. I am Ralph Williams. If it's just first time listening, we have a comment section here as well. I would like to hear some of your comments tonight on the show. And if you have comments on some of the topics we have, I have a lot of topics to talk about. Right now, I'm going to get into my life story. All right, yesterday, well, actually, I was out a little bit on Tuesday, Wednesday. I was out a lot this week. Okay. Went out, did some things, went a few places. You know, as usual, people don't know how to drive. It's not uncommon out here. I talk about it every week, and it just gets worse and worse. Nobody cares, of course, and that's why I continue to say our country is nothing. Because nobody cares. If you cared, you'd do something. If you cared, you wouldn't do what you do as a driver. Or maybe it's not your fault. Maybe it's just because you really don't know how to drive. Okay? And there's nothing wrong with that at all, not knowing how to drive. Okay? Nothing wrong with that at all. Because I'll tell you why. People can bake a cake and some people can't. Some people can drive and some people can't. But what I have a problem with, and I say this every week, is the people who don't know how to drive shouldn't be on the road. Okay? Shouldn't be on the road. All right. Well, yesterday I had a busy day. I had 3 shows to do. 6 p.m. I had to, well, first of all, my morning started at 8 a.m. I had to go to my orthopedic surgeon to go get shots in my shoulders. In case you're not aware, I have some injuries here. I have 2 shoulders that are so messed up they require surgery. I have 2 knees that are messed up as well that require surgery. I'm in a wheelchair. And I am able to, I have started walking with crutches again. And I'm taking medication to stop the arthritis that I have real bad in my body. Well, I go there for cortisone injections. They can't operate because of my weight. Okay? So, I went there to go get my cortisone shots. Then I had to take my fiance over to the medical building at Shadyside Hospital. My appointment was on Aiken Avenue, entrance of Shadyside Hospital. Groth Orthopedics. If you ever need something done with your knees or your shoulders or anything, go see Groth Orthopedic. I'm going to throw a little shout out to his office. If you can get your doctor to write up a referral, he's a good doctor. He also has done work with the Steelers and the Penguins. All right, so I just want to let you know that as well. Well, it turns out that my fiance went to go to her appointment yesterday. Gets there, They go to stick the shot needle in her knee because they said she needed her knee drained. Well, when they went to stick the needle in, nothing come out. So now my fiance has to go through some more hoops to figure out how come her knee's bothering her. She had knee replacement. Okay. All right. So what had happened was now she has to go to another doctor. So that's running through hoops and everything else, just like anything else. All right. So we get home. Get home a little early, take a nap. Then at 6 p.m., I had to be at the studio at 4 p.m., so I had to be over at the TV studio at 4. Get over there, we get into the studio, and I record it the way I see it, which, of course, you're watching right now. I have a TV version that I do. It's on a rotating basis on PCTV Channel 21 Comcast 47 Verizon Cable. And then when I record, it's live on PCTV's Facebook page. Well, I had to do it by myself. Normally I have a guest. Well, I had to do it by myself. You know why? I'll tell you why. I had 2 guests that were supposed to be on. Both of them screwed me over. And I was a little frustrated last Friday. I want to tell you a little story here as well. I almost gave up everything last Friday. Okay? I was having technical. I had my guests call off at the last minute, which of course is becoming an interesting scenario. Then I have a gentleman who keeps telling me he wants to be on my show, he wants to do this, he wants to do that, but then he has another excuse not to be on maybe next time. Well, we'll see about that. I'm starting to lose faith in people that I call for interviews. A lot of these people in this town, for some strange reason, don't want to be on my shows. I don't care. I really don't. I can put enough material together myself that I don't need you on my show. I reached out to Jennifer Ankowiak. Since she didn't return my emails and my phone calls, guess what I did? I blasted her last night on my The Way I See It TV show. On this one, we don't do blast. Okay? Last Sunday, I had technical issues last Friday, so I couldn't have the show. Then I was so agitated about what happened with my guest not showing up at the last second. He calls me texts me an hour before the show to tell me that he had tickets to the Penguin game and didn't know about it. Okay? I'm not going to go no further with that. I'm not putting out no names. But Jennifer Ankowiak is supposed to be this well-known former, and I say former, newscaster, okay? Everybody loved her when she was at Channel 2. She was the greatest thing since sliced bread, okay? All right? The greatest thing since sliced bread. Right. Yeah, exactly. Okay? That's it, Jennifer Ankowiak. All right? Supposedly, she quit 2 times with KDKA because she wanted to spend more time with her family. So she got a job that wasn't so demanding and working for the Catholic Diocese. And I didn't know this until I saw her on TV. And we're going to discuss this later on about the Immaculate Conception thing in Bloomfield. So naturally, this week, I tried to reach out to her. Figuring maybe she might be interested in being on the program to talk about this a little bit. Okay? Guess what? Not a return email, not a return phone call. You know, the ignorance of people anymore is getting old. All right? But anyway, continue about yesterday. Then I did my Sports Corner show with my co-host, Smoking Jim Frazier. As usual, we didn't have any phone calls. The only phone calls that I have received, the one day I got one from, I had Claudio on the first time on my show, and I had 2 calls. Then I had Claudio on the second time filling in for Smoking Jim, because last month the studio had to change the time and day because of something that was going on, and the studio was not available. Claudio filled in for Smoking Jim. Well, here we are. I get a phone call from a guy who's trying to sell insurance. Now, first of all, I don't need that on my show, so I was not happy at all with this guy. Second of all, you want to sell insurance, go do it somewhere else. Don't do it trying to call my show. And third of all, I already have insurance because I just did the plug for, all right, Robin Campbell Insurance. So why do I need his insurance? Well, he says you could have another. No. I already have 2 life insurance policies. I don't need any from you. Okay? So he gets off the phone. Once in a while, Luther Dupree will call up, which is great because me and Luther are friends and we call each other's shows. I call Steel City Sports World. He calls, once in a while, calls my show. Okay? Claudio, I don't mind him calling either. Claudio Rosano. I don't mind if my media friends call. That's fine. They're allowed to anytime. But I have a problem with people who call like that. But I can't get anybody to call my TV show at all. And here's an interesting thing here too I want to talk a little bit about before we get into the topics. I spoke to the producer yesterday, and I talked to my producer, who's great, by the way, at the TV station. And I asked him, I said, I hear there's some slack between the station, Comcast, and Verizon. And he told me a very disturbing story here that PCTV is behind, or are going to be lacking $200,000 in money that they've had in the past because Comcast and Verizon are not giving them enough money to keep the station going. They're $200,000 in the hole. And they're having some kind of a seminar or some kind of an online thing to get suggestions from us producers. I'm a community producer there. All right. Let me know if you want me to produce a show for you. I'll be more than happy to help you. All right. But anyway, he was telling me this story, and it's rather disturbing because, but he pointed out something interesting. Nobody watches cable anymore. Very few people do. Okay? And what they're doing is they're going out and they're getting internet. Like I have Comcast, I have cable, internet, and phone. All right? I don't trust the streaming services. I have Fire Sticks, which sometime down the road I'll explain that situation in one of my life stories. Tonight I'm not going to do that because I have topics I want to talk about and I don't want to take up too much time. All right. So anyway, excuse me. Getting back to that, we go to the. So we're done at the studio. My fiance and I, we stop at Taco Bell because for our dinner, and believe it or not, our food was good. It was hot. We got what we wanted and came home. All right. Nice. They were even nice to us. The one over on the north side. All right, the Taco Bell there, and the drive-thru actually moved because we were kind of scared about stopping there because I like to get home because at 8 o'clock I do my Block Talk radio show with Mark Mancini. And we were doing sports yesterday. Smoking Jim was where he was. And he got on a phone with us yesterday, and he was a guest on our show. And then at 10:15 last night, I did a show called the Draft Review Summit, which I had Scott Morganroth on from South Florida Tribune, and I had Joe Kuglis on, who you have seen if you've watched my Sports Corner show. He's been on at least 3 times. All right. And he's been on my TV show when I did a draft special. So here we are. All right. So I stayed up till about 3 o'clock in the morning because I couldn't sleep because I had taken a nap earlier in the day, and then I was still psyched up about the shows. So then today I had to go to a funeral down in Washington, PA. My fiance and I were late. Well, we weren't late. We were later than we wanted to be. All right, because we didn't get up on time. We get down there. We're pulling out of the funeral home. It was in Washington, PA. We're coming by the Meadows. I said, why don't we go to the casino? So we go over to the casino. Valet takes my car. My fiance brings a scooter out. I get in the scooter. I give the valet the keys. All right. Now, grant you, my vehicle was a little bit of a mess. Just a little. Okay. I am getting it professionally detailed. And you know, detailing costs a lot of money. It does. Car dealers charge a lot of money. Detail shops charge a ton of money. But still, I'm getting it detailed. All right. Well, it turns out that I get in the scooter. We go in the casino. We were having a great time. We get over, and I didn't notice because I've never eaten at the Meadows. I would go to the Meadows. We would go eat somewhere else. A few years back, my fiance and I decided to go down for 4 days. We stayed down at the Comfort Inn down in the Meadowlands. We had a great time. Went out to a Bible camp that I used to at one time be affiliated with called Camp Agape out in Hickory, PA. And if you're interested in that as well, they have reading and math camps. Look up on Google, check out, get their phone number, call them, make a reservation to have your child spend a week out at camp. It's interesting. They also teach, the Spirit, the Lord, about the Lord, and it's a very nice camp. They're accredited, national accreditation of camps. They're going to be having an open house probably coming up real soon. But we like Agape. We like the atmosphere of the place. You go up on the top of the hill and you see the sunset just go. Oh, it's a beautiful sight to see. So last year we decided to go to the Fall Festival. We did that. That's the closing of camp. All right. So we go up for the Fall Festival up there. It was great. And we went and decided to go to the Meadows a few times. Well, we didn't eat anything at the Meadows. We ate elsewhere. Okay. So today we decide we're going to eat there. I don't know what they have there, so we go over, start exploring. We find they have a food court. Yeah, they had pizza. Pizza was adequate. $3 something a slice. And it was a big slice of pizza. You go downtown looking for a slice of pizza these days, it's $5. Of course, then again, they give you a big slice of pizza. And Domino's, you go there downtown, and they charge $1.69, but you get a tiny piece of pizza. All right. So we ate pizza. My mom was with us. She had a meatball and chicken parm sandwich. Everything was good. All of a sudden, I go to fill up my drink. Now, you do know you pay for a fountain drink down there. They give you this tiny little cup. I asked for a large, but they gave me a tiny little cup. And you get free refills. So I'm refilling my drink. I go over to get a Coke Zero. And some guy comes up to me, and he says, "Are you Ralph Williams?" I say, "Yes, I am. What can I do for you?" He said, "We need you to move your Jeep." Now, grant you, I've been at the casino now going on 2 hours. Okay? And then all of a sudden, here comes this undercover policeman. And I thought there was something wrong. I thought I did something wrong, or somebody stole my Jeep, or, I've had my Jeep keyed here at, in the parking lot here of 808 Studios here. Okay? All right. So I thought, well, something was wrong. Somebody maybe flattened my tires, whatever. Okay. He says, no. He says, we're not valeting your vehicle. I said, why? It's not detailed. Now, I had a couple napkins on the floor. I had a couple of wrappers from the straws from us drinking drinks. I forgot to put the garbage bag in there. I had a couple other little pieces of paper on the floor. I had some stuff up on the front seat. He said it was unacceptably not detailed. So I take the scooter that I gave them $20 for. All right. So I start, rolling out into the parking lot. And the scooter is moving at a turtle's pace. They have them scooters so slow in there. It's unbelievable. If you're handicapped, I feel sorry for you because you're not going to be able to get around quick. It took me about 10 minutes to get from, or more, because of how slow that scooter was, from the food court all the way to the other end of the casino. So I get out to the front door. The valet guy comes up to me and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Williams, I'm so sorry, but your vehicle's not detailed." So what you're telling me is that in order for you to valet a vehicle there, it has to be detailed. All right? He said it had a little bit of a smell in it, too. I don't know anything about that. Maybe it did. But whoop-de-doo, do your job. Okay? So now I have to call Meadows Management, and I have to get him fired. Because first of all, I'm a handicapped person. I don't expect to be treated like a king, but I don't expect it to be treated like that. That's number one. Number two, you waited 2 hours after I was in the casino to tell me this. So I said, "No, I'm not putting in the parking lot. I'm going home." And guess what? I'm not coming back because of you. Now, I'm not going back to the Hollywood. Well, it's now Hollywood Casino at the Meadows now. All right? And I said, "I'm not coming back here." Why? Because of you. I feel insulted. I think it's unacceptable. Comments are welcome in the comments section as always. Ralph Williams here. The way I see it, it's great to have everybody watching tonight on YouTube and Facebook platforms. I'm working on getting on more platforms sooner or later. In case you're not aware, I had to use a new streaming service because the one I was using wasn't working right. And this new one's been pretty good. I got my new little ticker tape down at the bottom there. I'm not going to say what it is because it's there. Read it. Okay? But anyway, your comments are always welcome here. You think I should call upper management of the Meadows and say something to them? Or do you think I should just not show up? Because I'm going to tell you what I am going to do. I am going to call the management of the Meadows, and if they tell me that, or they give me some sob excuse as to why the valet couldn't do anything and refuse to give me any kind of free play or a free meal at the restaurant or something like that, then I'm not going back. I don't need to go there. I can go to Rivers. All right? But you got to take out a loan to eat at Rivers now, because Rivers does not have the restaurants like a food court. They have all these expensive restaurants. You're going to pay about $12 or more for a burger, things like that over there. The casino that made $394 million in the last 3 months. All right? We're going to talk about that later as well, because I have something of a little bit of an idea for transit funding, which I've been trying to throw at the state legislature. All right? And we're going to see where that goes. But anyway, that was part of my life story. And then I came back here, and here we are tonight doing this. All right? Watched a little bit of TV, did a little things, got my notes together for last-minute notes together for tonight's show, and got my notes together for tomorrow's Mahler's pregame because I have a prior obligation, and I am not going to be able to do Mahler's pregame, so I'm going to pre-record it. Okay? I'm going to be at Highland Park at Carnegie Lake tomorrow if you'd like to come and join me. I'm going to be there fishing with the Boy Scouts tomorrow from 10 to 4. So come on out to Highland Park to the Carnegie Lake and say hello. I'll be the guy there in a wheelchair. And I'll have my fishing rod and my line in the lake. You don't have to have a fishing license. And the reason for that is because it's private property and it's not owned by the state. Okay? It's owned by the city. So you don't have to have a fishing license to fish there. Nor do you need a license to fish at Panther Hollow Lake. All right? So I'll be there tomorrow if you'd like to come by and say hello. Give me your comments about the shows. You know, I do Sports Corner, Mahler's, my national blog talk radio shows, Wrestle Talk, the Black and Gold Sports Podcast, my TV shows, Sports Corner and the way I see it. Sports Corner tomorrow will be on at 5 p.m. It's going to be me and Smoking Jim Frazier, as always. So anyway, that was the story of my day today. But I want your comments in the comments section about anything that might interest you. And of course, it's raining outside, of course, as well. And I'm figuring maybe everybody's at home tonight because it's cold and it's rainy out. But I doubt that. Because now everybody's getting out. Places are reporting their business is bigger and people are starting to get out and move and get around. They're not scared. They're not, whatever. I can tell because I know the drivers out there that don't know how to drive in the rain and they crash. That's been going on for a while too now. Well, the whole week we've had rain. The whole entire week we've had not only just rain, but we have also had, a tornado watch the other night. And we had a tornado warning, and then we had severe thunderstorms. And it was a mess. All right. But I'm going to say this one more time, and I'm probably not going to keep repeating myself because it gets old. Don't drive like a maniac in the rain. Okay? Quit it. Stop it. Grow up. All right? Oh, I know. By me telling you that, you're getting your personal freedoms taken away. We're going to discuss that later as well. Because I'm getting tired of people saying their personal freedoms are being taken away in these political elections. I don't understand that at all. Comment on my comment thing here. What personal freedoms? And I talked about this yesterday on The Way I See It. What personal freedoms are they taking from you? I want to know. Because I want an answer to this question, because you keep saying in all these political ads that you support this candidate so he doesn't so that you don't get your personal freedoms taken away. All right? What personal freedom is being taken away? What? You're upset because the government told you had to go out and get a shot? But you still say the same thing over and over. The government's not going to tell me what to do. Is that a personal freedom? If that's the only personal freedom that they're taking away from you, then you have a problem. All right. We're going to talk about that later. First, we're going to talk about this. And I'm really upset about this. And I'm sure the people of Bloomfield and the people who attend Immaculate Conception Church under the banner of the St. Maria of the Goretti. Because of the Catholic Church is doing all this merging and everything else, they've decided to come up with different names. They put Immaculate Conception, Holy Family, St. Lawrence O'Toole, and St. Joe's all in one congregation. Okay? They shut down Holy Family altogether, sold the building. Who? I don't know. I don't care. All right. Now, they tore down St. Lawrence. And they moved everybody from St. Lawrence to Immaculate Conception. All right. They sold it to UPMC. Hope UPMC uses it well. All right. Anyway, another church that was a big Catholic church staple had a nice hall in the back. But their hall was decrepit. And the Catholic Church has struggled with membership. They've struggled with getting priests. They've struggled with a lot of things. And the main reason is because of molestation coming from priests and different parish members, stealing, all kinds of different things that have hurt the Catholic Church. So people stopped having faith in the Catholic Church. All right. So now Jennifer Ankowiak, and I'm going to throw her name out there tonight because she didn't return my phone calls. This is what happens, Jennifer, when you don't return my emails or my phone calls. All you had to say was, no, I can't be on your show. But when you completely blow me off, that is when I really get angry here. And I will blast you. So tonight, I am going to actually blast her. I blasted her last night as well. Okay? Yeah. I don't like when people are ignorant to me and play games. I'm not like that with anybody. And I don't expect it to be done by anyone else. All right? And email's not a bad thing, but email is really a bad thing. And I'll tell you why. Because ever since email came out, everybody hides behind it. They hide behind text. They hide behind email. They're scared to get on the phone and talk to somebody. But you're not scared to put your pictures all over social media of your new body or whatever it is you do. Okay, stupid stuff, you really don't want to see or hear. Of course, you're allowed. Oh, wait a minute, I don't want to take away from your personal freedoms. So there we are. All right. But anyway, it's okay when you do that, right? But you can't pick the telephone up and talk to somebody and say, "Hey, Ralph, I can't be on your show on Friday. I have a problem." Fine. Yeah, you have a problem, Jennifer. You're tearing down and selling the property of a church that's been around for umpteen years and has had umpteen people go through it. It's a better, better building than St. Joe's. I know. I lived in Bloomfield all my life. Okay? For a long time. When I was married, when I was married to my first wife, who's up in heaven with the Lord, we lived in McKees Rocks. But we lived in the East almost through our whole marriage. All right? Then we moved to McKees Rocks. I stayed there for about 7 years. Came back to the East. Lived in Garfield for a little while. So I've been in Bloomfield in the East. All right? So please, Jennifer, don't sit there and tell me this. I don't want to hear it. That building is decrepit. It might be because, I'm going to tell you a little story. I used to work for a thrift store, and I used to pick up donations. Well, it turns out that Immaculate Conception called this thrift store and wanted a truck to come and pick up donations. And I went over there, and I come to find out that they had a flea market. And this was back in 2013. They had a flea market for their street fair. Great street fair. I tell you what, Immaculate Conception put on one heck of good food, bingo, all games, rides. It was nice for a while until they quit. All right. So what had happened was, I go over there and there's all this stuff. I mean, I'm talking the whole truck's full. I'm going to be there for hours loading this stuff. It's hot. It's 90 degrees outside. All right. I had to keep stopping to go in and get air conditioning because it was bad. I load this stuff up on the truck, and Sister John comes out, and I've known Sister John forever. I told her who I was, and she said, "Wow, you've really grown up." And I hadn't seen her in so long. And I said, "Sister John, what happened here?" She said, "Oh, the person who was running the flea market decided to charge $10 for a piece of luggage or something instead of selling it at reasonable, cheap prices." I said, "Oh, no wonder I'm loading up a whole bunch of stuff on the truck." So I went to go use the restroom. Same restroom, same door, same plumbing, same pipes, same stall doors, same everything. It hadn't changed. The walls were chipping and not even being painted. And this is on the first floor, mind you. Or I'm sorry, the second downstairs where the kitchen is. You have to go through the kitchen to get to the bathroom. I said, "Sister John, what's going on?" She said, "We're broke." I said, "The Catholic Church broke?" She said, "We're broke." She said, we don't have it. We don't have the money to paint. We don't have the money for this. But I will give them credit, St. Maria the Goretti. They have money if you need help with your rent. They had to merge these churches together because of finances and lack of congregation. Catholic churches have been affected by a lot of different things that I mentioned earlier. All right. But now they're going to close Immaculate Conception, another staple in Bloomfield. And I said this on my show last night on PCTV, that's a shame because there's been a lot of staples in Bloomfield that made Bloomfield what it was, Little Italy, that are now falling apart. Restaurants are closing up. They're bringing in this yippie stuff, Chinese or Indian food or whatever. Who knows? Okay. Donatelli's closing down because people in his family are lazy and don't want to help the guy, Russ Donatelli. I feel bad for him. Pleasure Bars had 200 owners. Okay. Was good back in the day when the Marianis and the Collingers had it. Now who knows who has it. And they're having problems. Lombardozzi's hasn't opened since the pandemic had. Another fine Italian restaurant. My mom and I went in there about 5 years ago. Excuse me. We ordered from the menu, and it turns out that they were struggling because of the. This was before the pandemic. They were struggling. Excuse me. They were struggling even before the pandemic. They were having trouble getting people into the restaurant. The guy was old-fashioned. Place looked decrepit. Ceiling had leaks in it up in the tile. But they were making a lot of money on their banquet rooms, and they still had the same furniture that's been there for years. I used to go there for lunch buffet. All right, I felt bad for the place. My fiance and I have eaten there. Nice place to eat. Feel bad for the guy. Hasn't been open since before COVID. All right. Sancholi sold out. Went to Pizza Italia. They're down in Sancholi's old building, down there on Juniper Street, because they had some issues with their building up on Liberty. I talked to the lady there who I've known for, I don't know, all my life, practically since I was a little kid. She's worked at Pizza Italia that long. And I said to her, what's going on with Sancholi? Oh, they're gone. They went out of business. Because Lombardozzi's and the Bloomfield restaurants, Dell's ain't there no more. It was a barbecue place twice. Barbecue place don't have no need for Sancholi's bread. Donatelli's is going out of business. Sancholi's main business was Bloomfield. Okay? So here we are. Bloomfield's not as much Little Italy as it used to be. So now one of the biggest staples of Bloomfield, Immaculate Conception Church, is going to be torn down and sold to somebody else. Rumor has it that Highmark, AGH, West Penn, Allegheny Health System is buying it or bought the property. Catholic Church needs all the help they can get. So now they're going to do this. So everybody now with the St. Maria of the Goretti congregation now has to go to St. Joseph's Church. There's nothing left. There's no St. Lawrence. There's no Immaculate Conception. This is how bad attendance has got in the Catholic Church. We have mergers going on. We have churches being combined into one congregation of some kind. St. James of the Ephesus or whatever. Okay? It's bad. It really is. Catholic Church kind of did it to themselves a little bit. But tonight, that's the way I see it about that. I'm sad to hear about Immaculate Conception. Jennifer Ankowiak, next time, don't blow me off. Okay? Yes or no? Are you going to be on my show? Can you be on my show? All right? I'd have a little more respect for people that don't do that. All right? Roe versus Wade. Now, Supreme Court wants to get rid of Roe versus Wade. They want to give women... And then you have these protesters, and now the Catholic Church is warning. All the Pittsburgh Catholic churches are warning, or have been warned, that there's going to be protesters at the church about Roe versus Wade. Because, Catholic churches are against abortion. All churches are against abortion. Okay? That's killing. All right? But now, again, we're taking away from a woman's personal freedoms. Okay. Here's the argument I have. I argued with my mom, and I argued with my fiance about this. And I'm going to stand put on this, because I think they should get rid of it. Abortion should only be if necessary. For instance, if you get raped and it wasn't your fault, fine. But you got to have a notice to do it. Okay? All right? Let's say, for instance, there's some unforeseen circumstance that you got pregnant, and you found out that your health, if you get pregnant, like my first wife was, she couldn't get pregnant because of her health, and if she conceives and gets pregnant, then she would die. I guess the trauma from it causes death. Say that happens, and you have to get an abortion. Fine. That's an excuse to get an abortion. But just to go out and get drunk, or just to go out... Now, I'm going to tell you this. I know somebody whose daughter is 15. It was 15 years old. I think she's 16 now. Had 3 abortions. 3. Okay? Because she wants to screw around. Right there is a classic example of why we shouldn't have Roe versus Wade. Maybe it'll stop that. All right? Because we have babies having babies right now. All right? Maybe it'll help the situation that if you're going to do that, which is your personal choice to have sex unprotected, then you need not have it unprotected. You shouldn't be having sex at 15 anyway. Oh, you're telling me how to run my life. No, I'm not telling you how to run your life. I'm telling you the fact, the reality. Something you kids do not have. And you know what's funny? You have too much freedom because your parents don't care. That's the kids whose parents don't care. And I know a lot of parents who do care about their kids. All right? I have a problem when you say, oh, well, I'm not going to send my kid to school with a mask on because I had to ask him to see if he really wants to do that. Really? You're a parent. You tell the kid, put the mask on, go to school. We got school districts now who are trying to adjust times because kids can't get up to go to school. Well, that's not their fault. That's not everybody else's fault. That's the parents' fault. Because their kids don't go to bed on time. They're busy playing Xbox instead of doing homework. A lot of parents don't take control of their kids. It's terrible. I'm not going to go into any more of that because we don't have enough time for me to talk about that today. I got other topics I want to talk about. Personal freedoms. Okay, I talked earlier about personal freedoms. Now, again, I'm going to ask you, and you can comment in the comment section anytime you want. You can comment on my Facebook page, and I want you to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page, okay? But what personal freedoms is the government taking away from you? I want to know. I want to know why we have commercials that say these politicians are taking away our personal freedoms. Are you able to talk on the phone when you want? Yes. Are you able to go out on a date with a woman that you want, or a man, or whatever kind of date you go out on? Yes. Are you allowed to do whatever you want? Yes, pretty much. Okay. There's some laws, and get you in trouble with the police, that kind of thing. Yeah. All right. Okay. Most of our personal freedoms, you're allowed to carry a firearm because it says in the Constitution. Okay. So again, I'm going to ask you, and I get no answers from nobody. What, you're afraid to tell me what personal freedom this country's taken away from you? Because I want to know. Why don't you go to Russia? You have no freedom. Why don't you go to China? You have no freedom. Why don't you go to some of these communist countries? You have no freedom. But you're going to complain because maybe a few, of your personal freedoms are taken away. It's my choice if I want to get a shot. The government can't tell me I got to take a shot. Really? But let me ask you this. Some of you, and a lot of you that lived in my generation, remember the polio vaccine? Our parents made sure we went out and got it. Why can't you go out and get a COVID shot? Government's not going to tell me what to do. Ralph, you're not going to sit there and tell me what to do. I'm not. What? I'm invading your personal freedom? Okay? You have a personal freedom that if you want to put a show on like I'm doing, you could do that. You can do anything you want practically in this country. But you're going around telling people that your personal freedoms are being taken away. What? I want to know what personal freedoms that are being taken away from you. Please tell me. Oh, a woman should have a choice to have an abortion. What? That she had unprotected sex? And oh, okay, I'm just going to continue to do that. It's not right. That's why Roe versus Wade's going down. Oh, that's affecting a woman's personal freedom. Then don't have unprotected sex. Don't get drunk and have unprotected sex. Drunk babies. I know a lot of those too. Oh, do you know? I went to the Little River Band concert once down at the Wheeling down at Wheeling at the track down there, Wheeling Casino. So Wayne Nelson's up there singing, and they were getting ready to sing Reminiscing. And he said to some little girl, came up to him, not little, she was about 10 or 11, 12 years old, came up to him and said, you know, I was conceived by your song Reminiscing. Oh, really? That's nice to hear. Okay? Fine. At least your parents are taking care of you. You're not you haven't been aborted. Oh, but women should have their own personal freedoms to go and have an abortion anytime they want. A 15-year-old has 3 of them. 3 of them. Don't tell me that. Okay? Think about it for a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Everybody's brain these days in this country is freeze-dried. Or it's it's been washed away by liquor and booze and joints and dope smoking and drugs. Nobody can think straight anymore. Nobody. That's why our country is where we are. But again, and you can comment on this anytime, I want to know what personal freedoms this country's taken away from you, that I have to see it on a political commercial. Tell me. All right. I have a question for everybody. Do you think, and I personally believe that this is a scam. Cost of things going up because of Ukraine. Cost of things going up because China is mad at us. Cost of things going up because Russia don't like us. Cost of things going up because the Mexicans decided to pass gas after they ate their food. Prices will go up. Okay? If the German chancellor picks his nose, my prices in my town are going to go up. That's not the case, folks. That's a pack of lies. We're getting gouged on food prices because lazy workers. The supply chain shortage because nobody wants to work. So guess what? You're causing your own problems. But you didn't think about it that way. You're only thinking about playing Xbox and being lazy. Okay? That's what you're thinking about. All right? So just keep on thinking about it. And your cigarette prices are going to go up. And your food prices are going to continue to go up. And your gas prices are going to continue to go up. Because you don't want to work. They can't find tanker trucks to move the fuel. Okay? Down in the Strip District on 33rd Street, there's a commercial fueling place. There's one on West End, too. And one out in Moon. Once in a while, I'll stop there, dump my trash out of my car. They have cans there. All right. Once in a while, if I needed to use the porta potty, I would go there and use the porta potty. But it's not there anymore because somebody destroys it. Homeless people sleep in it, and they write graffiti about somebody's gay or whatever in there. All right. So they got rid of the porta potty, but I still go in there and dump my trash in the little trash barrel. They're hiring for fuel truck drivers. You could never get that job. Just like Port Authority, driving a bus. I see a bus and it says 88 Penn. We're hiring. I've never encountered that. Because nobody wants to work. But you're complaining because your food prices are going up. Well, why don't you become part of the solution instead of being part of the problem? But you don't think that way because your brain is swollen away. It's rotted away because you want to smoke pot, you want to sit home and drink, and you want to play Xbox. Yeah. I want to sit at home and play around on TikTok. Yeah. Okay. You know, I try to advertise for hiring a Giant Eagle, and I got slammed by some people. How dare you, Ralph? How dare you? How dare you tell me to go work at Giant Eagle? I didn't tell you to work at Giant Eagle. I suggested you should work at Giant Eagle. They were paying $15 an hour to be a cashier. Where else are you going to go and work for $15 an hour being a cashier? My fiance worked at a Giant Eagle for over 32 years and never made that kind of money. She made a dollar or two over that. Whoop-de-doo. Now, you could start out as a cashier at Giant Eagle and make $15 an hour. Oh, how dare you, Ralph? Why don't you go out and work at Giant Eagle? I can't. I can't work at Giant Eagle because of my health. Do you get it? Okay? I'm not deemed possible to work a gainful employment job. So don't go there with that with me. But you, who can work, you don't want to. This is your problem. You need to solve it. Don't complain about prices going up because you don't want to drive a truck, and you can because you don't want to work. Oh, President Biden's in there. But if Trump was in there, you'd work. Because he don't take away my personal freedoms, which Ralph can't find out why your personal freedoms are being violated at all. At all. That is the way I see it. That's why this show is called that. Next, Antonio Brown, former Steeler, coming to town May 20th. Guess what he's coming to town to do? And I don't have nothing against hip-hop and rap. Okay? I don't. I like some hip-hop and rap artists. Okay? You know what Smoking Jim Frazier, my co-host on my TV show on Sports Corner, you know what he said, and friend, you know what he said to me last night on our live call-in show? Antonio Brown is going to be broke and homeless. Because he'll never play in the NFL again. Nah. Okay? He's going to be another Terrell Owens. He's going to be a lost soul swimming in a fishbowl looking for 200 other places to go play football. So now he's getting into career rapping. He's coming May 20th to the Enclave Theater, formerly known as the Rex. He's going to sing. Whoop-de-doo. And there are people out there that like Antonio Brown. Good for him. I wouldn't go there, though, because he's a jerk and a goof and a bonehead. Okay? Who walks out, throws their jersey out on a field in front of a bunch of people? Antonio Brown. Who throws a party and throws furniture over the balcony in his home in Florida? Antonio Brown. Who screws the Steelers? Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown. But everybody likes him. Everybody. Oh, wait a minute, Ralph. That's my personal freedom. I'm allowed to like him. Yeah, you are. I'm not taking away from it. May 20th, if you want to decide to spend, I'm sorry, you don't have hard-earned money anymore. If you decide you want to spend your money and go down there and be involved in all that nonsense down on the south side that goes on all the time, that the city still can't fix. It's a simple solution. Put the 50 cops that you promised the citizens of this city down there and take the stress off of Zone 3. Put the 50 cops downtown and take the stress off of Zone 1 and Zone 2 so they can go into the neighborhoods and stop what's going on. They can't because of downtown and the south side. Go see Antonio Brown. Go ahead. Cause problems on the south side. Act like fools. Urinate everywhere. Do whatever you want. Okay? Act like fools. That's the way I see it tonight. Next, this is our last topic of the night. Casinos. I've been saying this for a while, and I know if there's some state legislatures out there watching this program tonight, you need to look at this. I've already said something to Austin Davis, all right, because he's on the Port Authority Board. And in case a lot of you don't know, I'm the president of the Allegheny County Transit Council. It's my business to get involved in funding for the Port Authority. SEPTA, Beaver County Transit, Mon Valley Transit. Okay? Austin Davis is on the board. And so there's another one on the board, and I can't remember his name. I think it's Schumacher or Shumster or something. Okay? On last Friday, I was at the board. I was online to the board meeting. I have to attend them all. That's my obligation as president of the Allegheny County Transit Council. And I challenged them. I said, I want you to understand something, that we need funding for the Act 89 funding is going to run out. The Turnpike Commission cannot pay their normal amount that they used to pay, $450 million. They can only pay $50 right now because they're broke. They're so broke, all right, that the Dollar Tree sent them a sympathy card. That's how broke they are. All right. So anyway, the Turnpike Commission is so broke they want to toll the bridge to 79. And once again, I've been adamant about that too because, A, that's wrong. But you know what? If the Turnpike Commission got to make money and Bridgeville is complaining about too much traffic. Well, Bridgeville's restaurants who didn't have, and I'm going to say this because I can on this, on my, it's my show. They didn't have the balls to go up against the governor when COVID was around. They're crying because there's going to be too much traffic going through Bridgeville. Well, let me ask you this. With all that traffic going through Bridgeville, don't you think you'd be able to get some more business? Now, see, you don't look at it that way. But anyhow, we'll talk about that another time because we're running out of time here and I want to talk about this. The casinos, natural gas companies, and the liquor stores need to be part of the funding situation. First of all, the casinos make a lot of money. And even if Rivers gives that $7 million a month or a year or whatever it is they give to cover the debt on PPG Paints Arena, okay, that's fine and dandy. Go ahead and do that. Yes, that's fine. Great. I'm glad you do that. But you have enough other money that you could put some money into the funding for the Port Authority, who for free brings your employees to work. 90% of Rivers employees, I've been to Erie and their employees come on a bus to that casino. I've been to the Meadows. They have a bus that brings them right up to or near the casino. They even have a shuttle where they park their car and the shuttle brings them to the thing. Okay? But anyway, there are people who use public transportation in Washington County. All right? So, what I'm saying to you is this. The casinos make so much money. Why can't they put money into Act 89 funding for the new funding package? And the legislature needs to hold them to the carpet for that. Gas drilling. Now, I know gas drilling's gone down. Range Resources filed for bankruptcy. People aren't making money like they used to on the taps anymore. I heard that from Camp Agape a little bit because they have some natural gas tap, whatever, pipes or whatever it is under the land and for natural gas drilling, which has helped the camp become a better place. It benefited. But all of a sudden now, it's going down the toilet. You don't even hear about it anymore. Very rare. I still see fracking trucks going back and forth that haul the frack sand. I see them on 79 all the time. I used to work for a security company that I used to guard a plant that used to do that. All right? That was when I could walk. Now, natural gas here, the drillers, the companies, they're not charged a tax. Why? They're taxed everywhere else except here. There's another funding solution. Third, the liquor stores. Pennsylvania is number one in alcoholics. They're number one in alcoholic rehab. They're number one in DUIs. People drink in Pennsylvania. Liquor stores make a lot of money. They make almost as much as casinos. Why can't the state take the liquor store tax, put a tax on liquor, okay, an extra tax to liquor stores? You tax bars. You put a drink tax in Allegheny County. Was it 12 years ago or whatever it was? I was down there because at the time I'd worked for Port Authority. I was down at County Council to fight for that tax. All right. I know bars and restaurants that went out of business because they didn't want to pay it. Okay, and the county made them eat it, and they went out of business because they didn't want to pay the tax. A real nice sports bar down in Strip District, $100,000 they owed back drink tax. They didn't want to pay. All right. Liquor stores, gas drilling, casinos. It's that simple. State legislators, get up off your ass and quit worrying about taking vacations and hush funds and all that other bull. And get together. That's why Ed Gainey got out of being a state legislator, became mayor of Pittsburgh. That's why John Fetterman is done being a lieutenant governor because Wolf's gone, and he's running for another office. He don't want to deal with that stuff. Why do you think some of these legislators are stepping down? It's tough being a legislator in this state. All right? They finally decided to put legislation through, and it could pass now, to raise minimum wage. I talked about that last night on my show. Watch my TV show The Way I See It as well. It's on a rotating basis. Check PCTV's listings. You can watch it all the time on their Facebook page. Just go right on there, and you'll see my show there. Punch it up, and you can watch it. Okay? All right, it's time to wrap things up here on The Way I See It Friday night edition. I appreciate all you have watched tonight. As always, your comments are welcome in the comments section. As usual, nobody comments. But when I'm out and about, I am pleased to tell you that people do tell me they watch the show. They just don't comment. All right. So, I have what they call hidden listeners. Or hidden watchers, I mean. I don't mind. Hey, you're watching the show. That's fine. And don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube page and like me on Facebook. Don't forget, Mahler's pregame will be pre-recorded. I will upload it onto Facebook, and it'll be also available on YouTube. You can watch it tomorrow before the Mahler's game. 2:30 start time against New Jersey Generals. All right, I am Ralph Williams. This is The Way I See It Friday night edition. You have yourself a wonderful evening, a wonderful night, and be safe, please, and have a good and safe weekend. Thank you.